Colin first into our interview garage. Colin, P3, you've got to be pretty pleased with that result, given the amount of ballast you have on board.
Yeah, really happy. Thanks, Louise. You know, Knockhill qualifying, you always have to produce a really big lap, probably your biggest lap of the season. So I managed to do that and pull one out of the bag. But as a car, as a team, we've steadily improved through the day, and I had my best car in qualifying. So you know, there was many laps through turn one. I was thinking, where did the road go? You know, I was so far up on two wheels, but you know, you have to really attack this circuit, and I think that's why we all really love it.
It was such a scramble in the sort of final few minutes after that red flag stoppage. How important was it to focus your mind and concentrate then?
Well, that's one of the biggest difficulties at Knockhill, is just getting some clear space, but also have yourself in a rhythm. You know, you really have to attack turn one and the chicane. So, you know, you can't have too many other people around you, and you just need vision. You need a clear track, and just to be able to go on the attack. So thankfully I had that in the middle run. I couldn't get space on my final run, but I had a good time in the bank. So, you know, we're well set up for tomorrow.
Good job, Colin. Hope it goes well for you tomorrow. Well, let's bring in the man who's going to be lining up on the front row of the grid in P2. And Jake Hill, that was a good result for you, wasn't it?
Oh, amazing, Louise. You know, I'm chuffed to bits. It's great for me and for MB Motorsport, accelerated by Blue Square. We've all done a great job today, and you know, it showed in FP1 we were, you know, feeling good pace-wise. In FP2 we just did a race run, and then obviously we've committed to a certain route for qualifying, and it paid off. I was a bit dubious at first, and then we came in after our first run and we had another misfire issue, so we had to replace a part of the engine wiring basically during the session, and we went back out and managed to secure that in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Colin was just talking to us about the difficulty with all the cars on such a small circuit of getting that clear run in the final bit. But how, well, I was going to say how tricky was that, but you actually made it look quite easy.
Definitely wasn't easy. You know, I was pushing the old girl to her absolute limits, and you know, I'm just happy that we managed to stick it right up the front. You know, it's my first ever front row start in terms of actual qualifying pace, which is fantastic. And yeah, it was just nice to be able to pull a lap together. I knew it was in me. We thought maybe a 7 was back on the cards, but to grab a high 5 or a 6-0, I think it was fantastic. So chuffed to bits.
How much of a concern is that misfire you mentioned in terms of the racing tomorrow?
It's still in the back of my head, which isn't a great feeling, to be honest. You know, we arrive at every circuit thinking, you know, I think we were on top of it, and then it surprises us again. So I guess we just have to keeping parts refreshed with the wiring stuff on the engine, and pray that it sees the 3 races through.
We hope the old girl holds it all together for you tomorrow. Well done today.
Me too. Thanks, Louise.
And let's bring in our pole sitter, his first pole of 2020. Ash Sutton, that is a really good result for you, isn't it?
Yeah, we've needed that, to be fair. Obviously it's great to get the first Infiniti Q50 pole position. That's like another thing ticked off. But it wasn't easy. Obviously the past couple of rounds we've just suffered with pacing in qualifying due to issues in free practice, and it was nice to have a clean day today, for sure.
It has been your Achilles heel, really, hasn't it, getting the results in qualifying. Tim was mentioning that you've kind of changed things a bit in free practice, so you did a new tyre run. How much has that influenced the result that we've seen here?
To be fair, I didn't actually get round to doing a new tyre run, so...
Not at all, then?
No, to be fair, we didn't. We don't get me wrong, we put a fresher set of tyres on, like everyone else on the grid did in free practice too, so we got a bit more of an indication of where we were at, but that was the first time on a new tyre, and the car was absolutely spot on. BMR Laser Tools Racing done a sterling job with it. I couldn't have asked for a better car.
Times are so tight. It's literally a second pretty much covers all but one of the cars on the grid. So what does that mean we've got in store in terms of the racing tomorrow, and how important is it to be starting from the front?
Look, obviously it's mega important to claim that little point to claw back on Colin for pole. The plan is to try and outscore him from that point onwards, and this is our perfect opportunity. We've not been in this position yet this year, so this is our prime time to try and do something about that gap points difference between us.
We look forward to seeing how it goes. Well done, you.
Lovely, thank you.